A lot of crazy news in the AI market today. I mean, we just saw OpenAI announce new data center solutions with Oracle. We also see Elon kind of sharing some insight about the AI space. We have companies like IREN that are benefiting from the growth in the AI market. Companies like CleanSpark, companies like CoreWeave, Micron just reported earnings, and AMD just got a buyer that I do believe should be seen as a bullish case. All this in today's episode. So let's get started.
I want to thank The Motley Fool for sponsoring this video, and check out fool.com/Jose for the 10 best stocks to buy now. With that link, you get a promotional offer for the subscription service. Now, let's continue with today's episode.
All right, so first I want to start off with OpenAI. The first thing is Sam Altman, the CEO of OpenAI, did have a blog post that he shared today, and it's called Abundant Intelligence. And he kind of just shares his overall thought of the AI market. I highlighted a few of the points that I found pretty interesting. He mentions if AI stays on the trajectory that we think it will, then amazing things will be possible. Maybe with 10 gigawatts of compute, AI can figure out how to cure cancer. Or with 10 gigawatts of compute, AI can figure out how to provide customized tutoring to every student on Earth. If we are limited by compute, we'll have to choose which one to prioritize. No one wants to make that choice, so let's go build. So pretty much OpenAI is just saying that right now, the biggest growth opportunity in the AI market is to have infinite amount of compute. So their vision is simple. We want to create a factory that can produce a gigawatt of new AI infrastructure every week. It will take them years to get to this milestone, and it will require innovation at every level of the stack, from chips to power to building to robotics. That would be crazy. Now, I can actually see a lot of AI players like Jensen liking this idea and liking this crazy thought about the AI space. But if you're not crazy enough, then I think that's what you need for this new tech innovation in the AI market. You need to your ideas need to seem crazy. Obviously, due to power constraints, due to chips, due to the time it takes to build, building a gigawatt of new AI infrastructure every week is seems nearly impossible right now. But it's crazy to kind of see how the market is trying to push this at these levels. They mentioned over the next couple of months, they'll be talking about some other plans and the partners they are working with to make this reality. Later this year, we'll talk about how they are financing it, given how increasing compute is the literal key to increasing revenue. We have some interesting new ideas. So for OpenAI, the massive thing is if they have more compute, they would be able to serve more, they would be able to gain more revenue. So it would be interesting to see some of the partners they're going to announce. Obviously, I think on the top level, we're going to see a lot of the typical players. I think you're going to see like your Nvidia, you're going to see your Microsoft, you're going to see your Oracle, everybody in the Stargate, which is Oracle, which is SoftBank, which is Nvidia. Obviously, the partnership with Microsoft, I think, would include Microsoft. And I would expect certain type of hyperscale companies like CoreWeave or those that build AI infrastructures will be partner of this as well. So this is something to keep a closer eye on, but it just kind of, I don't believe we're going to get to a 1 gigawatt AI factory per week anytime soon. But what it tells me is the market needs more compute. And that is very bullish for your IRENs, for your Nebias, for your CleanSparks, for your CoreWeaves. And some of those stocks I own heavy positions in. Mainly CoreWeave, right? That's, like I mentioned in the past, nearly a six-figure position on a cost basis. Now, definitely pretty exciting where it's at right now. Now, OpenAI also announced something else. OpenAI, Oracle, and SoftBank expand Stargate with 5 new AI data center sites. New data centers put Stargate ahead of schedule to secure a full $500 billion, 10 gigawatt commitments by the end of 2025. Now, this is interesting that these 5 new AI data centers come out a day after Nvidia says they're going to invest $100 billion into OpenAI in a ladder way. Every time 1 gigawatt comes out, Nvidia is going to invest the money. I believe this is where that money is going to, right? These 5 new AI data centers, because if we did see that CNBC interview with Jensen Huang yesterday, he mentions that all the new data centers that are going to be built are additive to what has been announced before. And these 5 new AI data centers are additive. Now, one thing that I find a bit interesting is it's not necessary, it's additive to what has been announced, but it is part of this whole $500 billion investment that OpenAI had with the Stargate project, right? And it's not necessarily all capital expenditures between OpenAI, Oracle, and SoftBank building data centers all over the United States is going to be a 500 billion. So it's still part of that $500 billion, but these are the new data centers that are coming in. So interesting. The 3 new sites they mentioned are located in Texas, New Mexico, and somewhere in the Midwest, which they expect to announce soon. Combined with additional expansions of 600 megawatts near the flagship Stargate site in Texas, this can deliver over 5.5 gigawatts of capacity. Overall, the main player in this is going to be Oracle, and they mentioned Oracle already began delivering the first NVIDIA GB200 racks in June, and they have already started early training and inference workloads using this capacity to advance OpenAI's next generation research. So first, Oracle stock barely moved after this announcement. I think the main thing is all this is part of that crazy RPO that we've seen in the past, right? That this is just solidifying how it's going to get there, the type of infrastructure is going to be building out, but it's not necessarily anything new. And I believe this is why the stock didn't really react much to it. Now, Elon does have a few thoughts that he mentioned about the AI market. First, we can see Elon mentions that there was somebody talking about this 10 gigawatt of AI solutions that OpenAI was going to do. Elon goes and says, we will be the first to bring a gigawatt of coherent training compute online. We will also be the first to 10 gigawatts, 100 gigawatts, and 1 terawatts of power. This just showcases the kind of competitive landscape we are in the AI market. And if AI is as real as it is, and as many are discussing, then I think AI investors have a very, very good future for them. Now, I want to talk a little bit about another comment that Elon mentioned. So we keep seeing this infinite money glitch. Nvidia invests 100 billions in OpenAI. OpenAI gives $100 billion to Oracle, and then Oracle gives that $100 billion back to Nvidia. Elon Musk mentions big question is whether the infinite money glitch lasts until the infinite money AI genie arrives. And this is what we've been talking about in the past, right? I think right now the growth opportunities of AI is really here. But that crazy amount of revenue needs to really show up, especially for companies like OpenAI. If this build out of massive infrastructure helps improve that revenue to some crazy levels, then this infinite money glitch will last for a very, very, very long time. Especially when there's going to be a portion. The theory is eventually there's going to be a time when OpenAI actually starts to make a lot more money due to its inference and all the other solutions. And that makes this infinite money glitch become even better and better and better and better. But that needs to happen. So Elon is saying, look, what happens first? Now, it's pretty interesting, right? Because at the same time, Elon was saying that they're going to be the first to build a 10 gigawatt, a 100 gigawatt, and a terawatt of power. Those powers are crazy to even discuss it, but it just showcases that Elon is willing to spend the money while this AI money glitch is also happening. So it's like you're being bullish in one end, but also trying to be a little bit naive, not naive, I don't know, sarcastic about an AI bubble at the same time. So which one is the real answer, right? I just want to show that. Then there was also a comment here, and someone posted Anthropic is going to lose. Elon Musk mentioned winning was never in the set of possible outcomes for Anthropic. I think that's pretty interesting. Anthropic definitely has kind of an AI thought process a little bit different than some of the other AI companies, definitely focusing more on safety, I believe, is what they try to push or try to show that they're pushing. They're also doing a lot of their training on custom ASIC like Trainium 2 and partnerships with Amazon. So I wonder if all this is kind of like that bearish sentiments towards that. But overall, this is kind of the big things impacting the AI market. All right, the next company I want to talk about is IREN, ticker IREN. They did mention that they doubled their AI Cloud GPUs to 23,000 GPUs and raises their AI Cloud annual recurring revenue target to over $500 million by Q1 of 2026. Now, the first thing is kind of the breakdown, right? So this is an additional 12,400 GPUs. They had about 12,000 earlier this, about 11,000 earlier this year. Now they're kind of expect to go up to 23,000. Those 12,000 GPUs are going to be broken down into the following. 7,000 are going to be NVIDIA B300s, 4,000 about NVIDIA's B200s, and about 1,000 of AMD's MI350. Now, this was bought for approximately $675 million, and the order reflects a growing trend of customers contracting capacity ahead of delivery, with IREN in discussion for multi-thousand Blackwell clusters. If you watch my previous IREN episodes, I do mention that that's one thing IREN is trying to do. They're not traditionally companies like CoreWeave and Nebius, they wait for these contracts to come in before ordering the GPUs. IREN says that's not us. We're gonna take contracts while we're building these systems because we're just gonna build as quickly as possible. We know the market is gonna take them regardless. And that's what they're doing. Now, obviously, NVIDIA is the big player here. In forms of the 23,000 GPUs, about 22,000 are purely NVIDIA. Most of them are the Blackwell series, either the B200s, the B300s, or the GB300s, which are all amazing. It is pretty cool to see them taking a stake in MI350s. Very small, but still very, very interesting. About 5% of their fleet is going to be AMD at the moment. Now, as an AMD shareholder, that gets me excited. Now, what I want to see for further purchases, if we get more updates from IREN, do they continue to increase their orders of the MI350s, or is this it? Now, if they do, that's extremely bullish. If they stop, it kind of showcases that maybe the demand for the MI350 is not as hot. But that is definitely at least a bullish flag right now. Now, IREN does mention that they are in position with their British Columbia campus to supporting over 60,000 Blackwell GPUs. Now, the stock has been doing really well. If we look at the overall right now, sitting at $41.77. In the past 5 days, the stock is up nearly 17%. In the past month, the stock is up nearly 80%. In the past 6 months, the stock is up nearly 450% over a 5-bagger in 6 months. Now, AMD, this was yesterday's news. I do believe this was one of the reasons AMD stock was up yesterday. But again, it's bullish now. Now, as an investor, you say, look, these are guys that publicly announce what they're purchasing, announce that they're purchasing MI350s. I need to make sure that the upcoming purchases, we still see some more buys from AMD. Now, the next stock I want to take a closer look at is CleanSpark, ticker CLSK. This is another Bitcoin mining market cap of 3.9 billion. Year to date, the stock is up nearly 47%. In the past 6 months, up about 58%. Now, this is much smaller. They're really focusing on Bitcoin mining. But on September 22nd, they also announced that it had expanded its capital strategy by increasing its Bitcoin-backed credit facility by 100 million. It's going to use this 100 million in scaling its Bitcoin mining operations and investing in high performance computing capabilities. Now, they actually have a nice amount of power. Most of it is being used for their Bitcoin endeavors, but they have about 1 gigawatt of power, which is actually a lot. Out of that, they're utilizing about 808. So they have about 200 megawatts that maybe they might push into high performance computing. But we can see that they are kind of increasing some cash or getting some facilities, some credit facilities or credit lines to be able to invest in high performance computing. Now, I would say be careful with stocks like this that have yet to transform. Building AI infrastructure is not as easy as just buying GPUs. Having the stability, having the resources and the strong customer solutions is a whole different ballgame. But right now, the market is definitely liking this move as the stock was up a nice amount in the past 5 days, over 23%, a nice amount coming from this high performance computing market. Now, I want to take a closer look at CoreWeave. This is one of my biggest positions in my overall portfolio right now. In the past 5 days, the stock is up nearly 10%. Obviously, with everything happening in the AI market, CoreWeave can benefit being a massive AI infrastructure player. This is the biggest of the public ones right now, not when you don't count kind of the hyperscalers, right? This is way bigger than Nebius. This is way bigger than anybody out there right now in forms of actual AI GPUs and actual AI infrastructure in the market right now. And I like it. Market cap of $64 billion. Now, CoreWeave today actually saw two price targets. First was Wells Fargo, which upgraded them to a buy from a hold and raising the price target to 170 from 105. The second was Melius Research, who also upgraded from a buy to a buy from a hold, increasing target to 165 from 128. The biggest kind of opportunities here that they mention are kind of like the massive AI investments that's going to trickle down to these cloud service providers, the great partnership that they have with Nvidia, and just the overall demand for AI compute, things that we've been discussing in this channel for a very, very long time. Overall, it made me very excited to be an owner here of CoreWeave. Now, I am just going to do a very quick thing here on Micron. I will most likely be doing a full earnings episode later this week, maybe tomorrow morning. But and I definitely will be doing it on my newsletter. So check out what the chip happened. But Micron technology right now is pretty much flat after hours. Remember, the stock might have did well then, right? Because in the past 5 days, the stock is up nearly 5%. In the past month, the stock is up nearly 43%. So a lot of excitement was priced into Micron before earnings, yet the stock didn't drop. It means that it met those expectations. Now, one of the bearish things with Micron was that there were rumors about the HBM4 market and how Micron might be lagging there. Now, Micron kind of shut that down. It says it remains on track to support customer platforms ramps, even as the performance requirements for HBM4 bandwidth and pin speeds have increased. And that was the reason, right? Supposedly, NVIDIA increased their threshold of what they needed with the HBM4, and the rumors were Micron didn't get to those. Now they're saying that yes, they're doing everything is on track. They're going to ship customer samples of their HBM4 with industry-leading bandwidth and pin speeds over 11 gigabytes per second. So Micron kind of destroyed those rumors. Again, I will be doing a more deep dive on their earnings later this week, so make sure to stay tuned. But overall, it does seem like it's very, very bullish for the AI market. They kind of in the data center market, they expect total server units to grow approximately 10%, up from prior expectations of mid-single digits percentage, both in traditional servers, but the biggest part is AI agents are also increasing a lot of the growth in the AI servers market. Now, this is very bullish for a lot of AI companies, in my opinion, and I can see why Micron, at least on the top level overview, continues to benefit from this AI space. Now, I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. Take care, have a good day, and see you all next time.